tithes and offerings to the house of Yahweh. Law number 114. The priest must set the value of a person dedicated to Yahweh. Leviticus 27, 2, 8, and 25. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when a man consecrates by a special vow certain persons to Yahweh by giving equivalent values, if anyone making the vow is too poor to pay the specified amount, he is to present the person to the priest, who will set the value for him according to what the man making the vow can afford. Every value is to be set according to the sanctuary shekel, 20 gerahs to the shekel, about 1/50th ounce of silver to each gerah. Law number 115. The priest must set the value of an animal dedicated to Yahweh. Leviticus 27, 11 to 13 and 27. If what he vowed is a ceremonially unclean animal, one that is not acceptable as an offering to Yahweh, the animal must be presented to the priest, who will judge its quality as worthy or bad. Whatever value the priest then sets, that is what it will be. If the owner desires at all to redeem it, then he must add 1/5 to the priest's valuation. If it is an unclean animal, then he may redeem it according to the valuation of the priest, and shall add 1/5 of its value to it. If it is not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to the priest's valuation. Law number 116. The priest must set the value of a house dedicated to Yahweh. Leviticus 27, 14 to 15. If a man dedicates his house as something holy to Yahweh, the priest will judge its value for it, so shall it remain. If the man who dedicates his house redeems it, he must add 1/5 more to its valuation. The house will again become his. Law number 117. The priest must set the value of a field dedicated to Yahweh. Leviticus 27, 16, 22 to 23. If a man dedicates to Yahweh part of his inherited family land, its value is to be set according to the amount of seed needed to plant it. A homer of barley seed, probably about 6 bushels, shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver, about 1 1/4 pounds of silver. If a man dedicates to Yahweh a field he has bought, which is not a part of his inherited family land, then the priest will determine its value up to the year of Jubilee, and the man must pay the priest's valuation on that day as a holy offering to Yahweh. Law number 118. If one sins ignorantly regarding the holy offerings, full restitution must be made, adding 1/5 of the value to it. Leviticus 22, 14. If anyone eats a holy offering by mistake, he must make restitution to the priest for the offering and add 1/5 of the value to it. Law number 119. The fruit of the 4th year's growth is holy and must be given to the priest. Leviticus 19, 23 to 25. When you have come into the land and plant any kind of fruit tree, regard its fruit as uncircumcised, that is forbidden. 3 years it shall be forbidden to you, it shall not be eaten. In the 4th year all its fruit will be holy, as a praise offering to Yahweh, which you will give to the priest. Then in the 5th year you may eat its fruit. In this way your harvest will be increased. I am Yahweh, your father. Law number 120. The corners of a field that is reaped must be left for the poor. Leviticus 19:9. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not completely harvest the corners of your field, nor shall you gather the gleanings of your harvest. Law number 121. The gleanings of a field that is reaped must be left for the poor. Leviticus 19:9. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not completely harvest the corners of your field, nor shall you gather the gleanings of your harvest. Law number 122. The forgotten sheaves of a field that is reaped must be left for the poor. Deuteronomy 24:19. When you are gathering the harvest in your field and forget to pick up a sheaf, you must not go back to get it. It shall be for the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, so Yahweh your Father will bless you in all the work of your hands. Law number 123. Any remaining olives or grapes must be left for the poor. Deuteronomy 24:20 to 21. When you beat the olives from your trees, you must not go over the boughs twice. It shall be for the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. When you harvest the grapes of your vineyard, do not go over the vines again. It shall be for the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. Law number 124. Any fallen grapes must be left for the poor. Leviticus 19:10. You shall not glean your vineyard, nor shall you gather every grape of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and for the stranger. I am Yahweh your Father. Law number 125. The first fruits of all our labor must be separated and brought to the house of Yahweh. Exodus 23:19. The first of the first fruits of your land you shall bring into the house of Yahweh. Law number 126. All holy offerings must be given to the priest at the house of Yahweh. Numbers 18:8-14 and 21. Then Yahweh said to Aaron, I myself have put you in charge of the offerings presented to me. Terma. All the holy offerings the children of Israel give to me, I give to you and to your sons as your portion and regular share. You are to have the part of the most holy offerings kept back and reserved from the fire, from all the gifts they bring to me as most holy offerings, from every grain offering, from every sin offering, and from every trespass offering which they give to me, that part belongs to you and to your sons. In a most holy place you shall eat it, every male shall eat it, you must regard it as holy. This is also yours. Whatever is set aside from the gifts of all the wave offerings of the children of Israel, I give this to you and to your sons and daughters as your regular share. Everyone in your household who is ceremonially clean may eat it. I give you all the finest olive oil and all the finest new wine, and the grain they give to Yahweh as the first fruits of their harvest. All the first ripe fruit in their land, which they bring to Yahweh, shall be yours. Everyone in your household who is ceremonially clean may eat it. Everything in Israel that is devoted to Yahweh, Kerem, is yours. See, I give the children of Levi all the tithes, the tenth in Israel, as their inheritance in return for the work they perform and do while serving at the tent of meeting. Law number 127. The first tithe, the first tenth of all our increase must be given to the house of Yahweh for the work of Yahweh. Leviticus 27, verse 30. And all the tithe, that is 1/10 of everything from the land, of the seed of the land, of the fruit of the tree, belongs to Yahweh. It is holy to Yahweh. Deuteronomy 14:22. You must truly tithe all your income, grain, money you are paid, animals, year by year. Deuteronomy 12:6. There you must bring your burnt offerings and sacrifices, your tithes and special gifts you have vowed to give, your freewill offerings, and the firstborn of your herds and flocks. Law number 128. The second tithe must be set aside for the feasts of Yahweh. Deuteronomy 14:23-26. Eat the second tithe of your grain, your new wine, your oil, and the firstlings of your herds and of your flocks in front of Yahweh your Father in the place he chooses to establish his name, thereby learning to reverence Yahweh your Father always. But if the way is too long for you, so you are not able to carry it, or if the place Yahweh your Father has chosen to set his name is too far from you when Yahweh your Father has blessed you, then you are to exchange it into money and take money into your hand, and you shall go to the place Yahweh your Father chooses. Then you shall spend that money for whatever you desire to have, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatever you desire to have. You shall then eat there in front of Yahweh your Father, and you shall rejoice, you and your household. Law number 129. The priests and Levites must also tithe to the work of Yahweh. Numbers 18:25-28-29. Then Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, In this way you shall also offer an offering, thru, to Yahweh from all your tithes you receive from the children of Israel. From these tithes you must give Yahweh's portion, the first tithe, to Aaron the priest. You must present as Yahweh's portion the tenth, the best and holiest part of everything that has been given to you. Law number 130. The third tithe must be set aside for the poor in the 3rd and 6th years of the 7th year cycle. Deuteronomy 14:28-29. Toward the end of every 3rd year, you shall bring forth all of your income designated that year, the 3rd tithe, and store it within your gates, the house of Yahweh. So the Levite, who is also allotted the first tithe, because he has no portion nor inheritance with you, and the stranger and the fatherless and the widow who are within your gates, may come to Yahweh's feast and eat and be satisfied, so Yahweh your Father may bless you in all the work of your hands. Law number 131. Tithes and offerings must be presented to Yahweh with prayer. Deuteronomy 26:13-14. Then you shall vow in front of Yahweh your Father, I have removed this holy portion, my first tithe, from my house, and also I have given my third tithe for the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, according to all your laws which you have commanded me. I have not transgressed your laws, nor have I forgotten them. I have not eaten my second tithe in reverence to any god, El Turpa, nor have I removed my second tithe while I was unclean, nor have I offered any of my second tithe to the dead. I have obeyed Yahweh my Father. I have done everything you have commanded me. Law number 132. Each household is to bring or send their tithes and offerings before Yahweh to the house of Yahweh. No Christian collection plate. Deuteronomy 26, 2-4 and 10. You must take some of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which you shall bring from the land Yahweh your Father has given you, and you must put it in a basket and go to the place Yahweh your Father will choose to establish his name. And say to the one who is priest in those days, I declare unto Yahweh my Father this day that I have come to the country which Yahweh vowed on oath to our forefathers to give us. Then the priest shall take the basket out of your hand and set it down in front of the altar of Yahweh your Father. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruits of the land which you, O Yahweh, have given me. Then you shall set it before Yahweh your Father and worship before Yahweh your Father. Law number 133. The first portion of the grain offering must be given to the priest at the house of Yahweh. Numbers 15, 20-21. Present a cake, challah, from the first of your ground meal, and present it as an offering from the threshing floor. Throughout your generations you shall give this offering to Yahweh from the first of your ground meal.